Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. College Ball with J-Dog. First thing I need y'all to do, same thing as always, hit that like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. I'm doing all the research for you, so you ain't got to do it. All you got to do is sit and watch these videos. Way less time. So make sure y'all are tuning in. Make sure you're subscribing for me, commenting. If you pull for another team, tell me who you pull for. That way I can cover them too. I do try to cover other teams, but if you got a specific team and you're already a subscriber, I'll try to cover them for you. Y'all, it's 31 days. 31 days till kickoff. 1 month. 1 month. I know it's crazy to think about, but it's here, y'all. I mean, I'm ready. Y'all are ready. Today we're going to talk about basically just fall camp updates. I do want to go over the on-3 decibel list they done. I'm recording this one standing up, trying it a little different today. Not sure I like it, so I'll probably be sitting back down the next one. I just want to try something new. See how we like it. All right, y'all. I'm dropping these videos daily, so I need y'all to do your part for me. Share with your buddies. Tell them to subscribe. You don't want to be the guy at the water cooler or at work. Everybody starts talking about ball, and you don't know what's going on, and everybody else does. And when they walk away, they say, "Damn, man, can you believe Jason don't know what's going on this year?" You don't want to be the guy that's acting like you know what's going on too. That everybody sees and they know. They say, "Oh yeah, Jason, he don't know nothing. You can tell he's just making it up as he goes." You don't have to be that guy. You just gotta watch this channel, y'all. Just gotta tune in. Sit there and listen. Then you can go to work the next day or talk to your buddies on Friday night, sitting around taking a drink, whatever you do. And you're going to be able to blow their minds with your knowledge just by tuning in here. So hit that like button, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff for me. Comment. All right, first thing we'll go over, guys. That's enough begging for y'all to like, share, and subscribe. I know. First thing I want to pull up, I thought this was pretty cool. Aguilar was talking today. He said, the surprising part is how many people already knew who I was when I got here. I haven't even done anything for this university yet, but everyone's been so welcoming. People ask for autographs, pictures. It's awesome here. You go out and win this year, you win 10, 11 games, you're a legend for the rest of your life, brother. I mean, seriously, that's all it takes. You're going to be here 1 year. You take us to the playoffs, maybe get a playoff win. You're a legend. Every time you come to Knoxville, you ain't got to ever spend $1. I mean, that's how we are. We'll treat you like daggone royalty you come here and win. I think you're going to. Whether or not we get the playoff win, all that, I don't know. But I see more Hendon Hooker in you than I have any quarterback that's come here. I'm a little higher on you than the media, obviously, and that might be my orange-colored glasses. I mean, I don't know. But if y'all haven't yet, I've said it many times, go watch. Just look up Joey Aguilar film. The film guy, he done a good breakdown of him. The kid can ball, y'all. I mean, he can ball. He's a gamer. Like I said, you don't want to be the guy at the water cooler that don't know what you're talking about. So y'all make sure you're doing that stuff for me. This list, if you're a Vol fan, you're going to love it. If you ain't, you're going to call BS on it. I'm a Vol fan, so I obviously think it's top notch. I mean, it's decibels. I mean, it's measured decibels, so it's true. Tennessee, loudest game ever. I think it was Alabama last year or 2022 maybe. The numbers speak for themselves. Tennessee, number 1. We got the loudest decibels ever recorded. Don't come at me in the comment section saying your team's better, because they're not. Tennessee's got the loudest stadium they are. It's really not even close. 4 decibels is a lot when you get up that high. Number 2 is surprising, though. Husky Stadium, Washington. They don't even fit, I think, only like 70,000 there. That's pretty damn impressive, the way their stadium's built. Helps the noise level. They're tied. Them and South Carolina's tied. I've heard South Carolina has a hell of a home environment. I'm sure it was rocking in 2022 when they beat us, knocked us out of the playoff, even though they cheated to do it. O'Connor Skins gave them their signals. You know, I've talked about it. I think Michigan's going to get the hammer, y'all. Central Michigan's already in trouble for having Connor Stagons on their sideline. Act like they didn't know he was there. Of course they knew he was there. Nobody gets on a football sideline without you knowing they're there. Central Michigan coach Jim McElwain already retired. If you remember, McElwain coached Florida whenever we had Butch Jones. He didn't retire. He resigned. He resigned. Left millions on the table. Anything. Because then, if you wasn't, you'd make them fire your ass and get your buyout. Be on the lookout for that, because something from that could come down soon, y'all. Michigan could get the hammer. I think trying to take their national title or something, because Michigan's not cooperating. They're trying to negotiate. We was in trouble for the Pruitt stuff. They said we did an exemplary job. That we was a model of how you should act when the NCAA is sniffing around. And nowadays, the NCAA, I don't think they got the power that they think they do. And if they're just trying to give Michigan scholarship reduction, who cares? You got 105 scholarships now. That ain't going to hurt nothing. Now, when you only had 85, it mattered. All right, number 4, Clemson. That's kind of surprising. I know Clemson's Death Valley. They got a good home environment. The one I'm surprised by the most, because it's the one everybody says is number 2 or number 1. It's always between us and this team, is LSU at 5. 130, which now they caused a earthquake one year back in the day. I highly doubt they kept up with decibel ratings back when that happened. But I've always heard LSU and Neyland are right there 1 and 2, so them being 5 on the list kind of surprising. Number 6, Oregon. I've heard great things about Oregon. I heard they get rowdy out there. So I can see that. Lane Stadium. For Virginia Tech fans, they're kind of going through what we went through for 15 years. They just got to find the right coach. I ain't saying Brent Pry's not the right coach, but this is a make or break year for him. I think they play Vandy second game of the year. That'll be big for them. They lost to Vandy last year. This year it is at Virginia Tech, so I like their chances better. Like I said, college football is better when Virginia Tech's good, because they do have a good environment there. They got good fans. Texas A&M, Kyle Field. That's pretty cool for a team that's 8-4 every year, taking a shot at A&M here. Well, I figured Penn State would be higher on this list, y'all. I really did. They're at number 9. Everybody says wideout's one of the top environments, but I guess maybe it's not like that every time besides the wideout. So, number 10, the Swamp. I can see that. I know the Swamp's hard to win in because my Vols ain't won there since 2003, y'all. Casey, the Iceman Clausen, was our quarterback then. So I definitely can see that. Hate Florida. So I'll throw that out there as we're talking about them. Can't stand them. All right, for what y'all all tuned into, I know y'all ready for it. Fall camp updates. This is stuff I'm talking about. You don't want to be at the water cooler and somebody be like, man, did you hear what's happening at fall camp? And you're like, oh, yeah. And then when they say, oh, blah, 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 and you're like, oh, really? No, you want to be the guy that knows this. So tune in, listen. When you go to work tomorrow, you can say, hey, did you hear about fall camp tomorrow? And your buddies be like, damn, he's knowledgeable. We'll start with Boo Carter. After an update on him yesterday, sophomore was present at practice Wednesday morning and went through stretch alongside the rest of the defensive backs. But was not in a helmet like the rest of his teammates. He did not participate in turnover circuit or any other individual drills. Before the team went outside, he stayed inside with a few other rehabbing players to work with strength and conditioning coaches, training staff on the indoor field and in the weight room. Me personally, I don't think Boo Carter has any injury. I think he's getting punished. I think he's Heupel's having him watch somebody take a spot so he knows how it feels. He's inside doing extra work. That part of his agreement with Heupel to stay on the team is extra work. He's sitting there watching somebody take a spot, seeing how bad it feels. That's what I think. I could be wrong on that. All SEC cornerback Jamal McCoy went through stretch with the team before staying inside to work with strength and conditioning coaches and trainers. You don't know, Jamal McCoy, he's going to be a first-round pick after his season last year. He was working out, tore his ACL. Terrible time to tear your ACL. Word is he's going to be ready when the season starts. Well, I mean, really, it's a terrible time to tear your ACL, but also a good time because it's usually about a 9-month recovery period. He tore it in January, so should be ready first or second game of the season if all things go well. Hoping they go well. And he might be the best cornerback in college football. I mean, especially this year. Wide receiver Chris Brazel did not go through stretch and was not involved in any individual drills. Not sure what's going on with Brazel. Do know he's an important piece of the puzzle, so I hope it's just precautionary. A lot of this stuff in fall camp is precautionary. You don't want your players to re-aggravate something before the season starts. I think Brazel's going to be one of our top receivers this year. I think it'll be Mike Matthews, number 1, Brazel, number 2, and then Braylon Staley, number 3. Tight end Miles Kitson was in a red non-contact jersey, but with few limitations. Look, they're just trying to keep Kitson healthy. I mean, he's the utility guy in the offense. He lines up at H-back, tight end, does a little bit of everything. It's hard to believe that guy was third string at Alabama. And then he comes here and he's a freaking stud. I mean, even on the NCAA football game, the guy's a 90 overall. I mean, we're going to use him in every way possible this year. He's a freaking mismatch nightmare. He's like 6'6", 6'5", pretty quick. You get him on linebackers, they ain't got a chance. So I expect us to go across the middle of the field to our tight ends a lot this year. Merklinger was first in line, followed by Aguilar, McIntyre, and then freshman Mason Phillips. Mason Phillips is obviously a walk-on because I have no idea who he is. Well, there ain't no walk-ons anymore. He's just a bottom scholarship guy. Sorry if you hear thunder in the background. It is thunderstorming while I'm recording this. Merklinger took first reps today, okay? That's normal with Heupel. He's going to make Aguilar come in and take that job. I think Aguilar does take it. He's just got too much game experience compared to McIntyre and Merklinger. Quarterbacks are mostly accurate on a slew of short passes, including slants, post corners. Aguilar showed good connection with Kitzelman and wide receiver Mike Matthews. Like I just said, Kitzelman and Matthews are going to be your guys this year, and then Chris Brazel will be number 3. Like when I was receivers, I said Brazel too, but it'll be Matthews and Kitzelman will be your main guys this year in the passing game, I think, and then Brazel will be number 3, who each made nice fingertip catches before dropping back-to-back balls. Let me get my other slide pulled up. These are all in order, so pick up where we left off, y'all, when I'll get these pulled up, so just bear with me as we go. They're both, before jumping back-to-back passes, the veteran transfer looked pretty comfortable for his first Tennessee practice. First, the defensive line again looks loaded. From a physical standpoint, there's a nice variety in that group in terms of size, build, length, and nobody looked to be out of shape, though those big guys will get tested. Even in the early morning summer heat, freshman Marion Dye looks like a freak of nature. Isaiah Campbell does not look like a freshman. David Hobbs looks like a veteran. Tyree West looks excellent too. If you don't know Marion Dye and Isaiah Campbell, they're both stud freshmen, both of them top 50, 60 guys. Isaiah Campbell's a 5-star. Marion Dye was borderline. I mean, they're both physical freaks. They probably contribute this year because Rodney Garner loves to rotate his guys. He likes to play 10, 11 guys on defensive line. So I'd look for them to get reps this year, especially in the games against the scrubs. That's a blowout. They'll get a lot of good reps. I mean, our recruiting has been dominant on defensive line edge rushers, y'all. I mean, we got Jordan Ross 5-star, Isaiah Campbell 5-star. David Hobbs was a 5-star. I mean, we just load up in them position, which is huge because in the SEC, you win on line of scrimmage. I mean, you can have the best talent at receiver, best talent at running back, best talent at quarterback. If your offensive and defensive line's trash, you ain't going to do it. You just ain't going to win in our conference without being dominant on each line of scrimmage. Another group that looked apart was tight end. Ethan Davis has always looked like $1 million. The freshman Jack Van Dorselayer looks like a player who's been in college program for a lot longer than 6 months. Deshaun Brame has a filled-out frame as well. Deshaun Brame, I don't know if it'll be this year, but he's going to be a freaking weapon, y'all. He's athletic. He's like 6'5", 6'6". Just a pure athlete. He'll probably be able to split out in like a wide receiver or two. He's just one of those guys, probably be a Miles Kitselman type player, but more athletic than Kitselman as his career progresses. And Ethan Davis, I expect him to take a big jump this year. He was caught some passes in as a freshman in the orange and white game, and then he's battled injuries since then. But Holden Stays was a big-time recruit we brought in from Notre Dame last season. He played quite a bit. Ethan Davis basically took his job, so that's why he transferred. So Ethan Davis is your number 2 tight end this year. So I look for a big year out of Ethan Davis as well. Another 2 who caught the eye were redshirt freshman linebacker Edwin Spillman, who looks like a big-time SEC linebacker, and redshirt freshman offensive tackle Jeremiah Hurd, who is a mountainous. I guess he forgot to finish that. So, Edwin Spillman, we beat Ohio State out for him. He's a kid from Nashville. He's a freaking freak, man. Big-time linebacker commit. I think he's going to end up as a starter this year. And Jeremiah Hurd, we brought him in as a D tackle, moved into offensive tackle. He's 6'9". If he learns technique and stuff, he's going to be impossible to get by, kind of like a Larry Orlando Brown, I think was his name. His son was committed to us and then ended up going to Oklahoma with all the Butch Jones crap that went on. I mean, when you're that big and that wide and your arms are that long, you ain't got to be the fastest. You ain't got to be perfect. It's just so hard to get by you when you're that size. So Jeremiah Hurd can just get some technique down. He's going to be a mainstay at tackle for the next couple years. The best-looking wide receiver physically is Travis Smith Jr., the freshman. I mean, he's a freshman, already the best-looking physically. He's a big-time recruit out of Georgia this year. No fellow rookie, Radarius Jackson, another freshman from Memphis. These young receivers, y'all, they're liable to be the ones that take this team back to wide receiver U. If you remember the 90s, where's wide receiver U? I mean, these freshmen we brought in are going to be absolute studs, y'all. Darius Jackson had the best catch in routes on air, adjusting his body quickly to snag a football thrown. I mean, seriously, y'all, our recruiting class has not been ranked that high, but I'm telling you, I like Heupel's evaluations, and these guys are freaking freaks at receiver. Adjusting his body to snag a football thrown slightly behind his spring. That was from Patrick Brown, 24/7. This one I forgot to expand, so we're going to miss a little bit on this one. I apologize about that, y'all. Joey Aguilar looked like the most polished from a mechanical standpoint with his feet, hips, drop back. You can tell he's done this with plenty of times before. His throwing motion is a bit different, stands out compared to the other two. But his footwork is easily the best. He got quick release and was accurate at times this morning, but he was not the most accurate quarterback of the bunch, which is normal. G-Mac and Merklinger, they went through spring practice. Merklinger went through all last season. So it's normal him getting on page with his receivers and stuff, like I said. Mechanics, accuracy, getting the ball out quick release. I mean, the guy's going to be the starter, y'all. The quarterback battle, it's basically Heupel just trying to keep the other guys happy, I think. The mechanic thing, all that, that's a big part. If you got the best mechanics, you will end up being accurate. You will end up doing the right things at quarterback. The most accurate would have been Jake Merklinger again. There wasn't much movement down the field, but the redshirt freshman was fairly accurate with the football. His mechanics are night and day compared to where he was when he started at Tennessee, and he'll continue to improve. George McIntyre had some bright spots as well through the throwing motion, and releases longer. Basically, he needs to refine his mechanics like Merklinger's done in his second year. None of the quarterbacks lit the world on fire today. It's not like we were there to see a ton of action. They didn't show us much by design. Merklinger was typically the first quarterback to go in drills. Okay, let's go over this real quick, y'all. Media's there for like 30 minutes of practice, if that. So these reports are kind of, they're just seeing what the coaches want to, and as soon as they leave, the real stuff starts going down. But it gives you enough to get you a little taste in your mouth. You know, get that little football feeling in you. On the offensive line, both William Satterwright and Sam Pendleton were getting work at center. With the first team, Pendleton was right guard, Satterwright at center, Lance Hurd was left tackle, Wendell Moore Jr. left guard, David Sanders at right tackle. When Pendleton was at center, Sam Umarov was at left guard. So basically, that's the order I told y'all when we've been talking on here. Lance Hurd left tackle, Wendell Moy. I know it's spelled like Mo, but it's Moy. If y'all think I'm crazy by saying it like that. And then Satterwright at center, Pendleton at right guard, David Sanders at right tackle. Now, if Pendleton ends up being center, Umarov will start. Now, Umarov was a huge win, too, at lineman, y'all. We're so deep on offensive line now, and it's been a long time coming. The last couple of years, if one of our guys was out, we was in a bad spot. Now we got depth. I like our ones and our twos, which is awesome for the first time in a long time. Lance Hurd looks like he's moving around better. There's pictures floating around. I should have probably had them pull up. Lance Hurd's in way better shape. Like I said, he's a 5-star, top 10 guy coming out of high school, went to LSU, decided to come here. I think Lance Hurd makes a name for himself this year. Last year, he wasn't healthy. He's adjusting to that high-tempo offense while not being healthy. And we didn't have anybody behind him to throw in there, so we had to play him. And he looked bad a lot. This year, I'm telling you, he's about to make a name for himself. And Jeremiah's Hurd, that's his cousin that we got he was from Georgia. He's a lower-rated guy. On 3 was the only one had him as a 4-star. We got him in as defensive tackle, but he's going to end up being an offensive tackle, and I think he's going to end up being a damn good one once he gets technique and learns from Ellerby. He's easily one of the first 5 off the bus, which means just the way you look, you want them guys coming off the bus first. Jack dudes, just big mofos, you know what I mean? He was working behind Hurd at left tackle while Bennett Warren was working behind Sanders at right tackle. Bennett Warren's another one I'm high on, y'all. I just don't know if all these guys stick around with, Hurd's a redshirt sophomore, I think. And David Sanders is a freshman. So unless they get moved around or they're okay being depth pieces, which is awesome because injuries happen. Guys rotate in and out in this offense because we move so fast. Jesse Perry was getting interior work while Media was out there. Perry was a guy that the coaches liked. We beat out Clemson for him. He wasn't the highest rated guy, but when you're beating out the likes of Clemson for somebody, I think that tells you all you need to know. Like I said, I don't look at stars. I look at offer list. Ethan Davis was physical on the sled today. Miles better than where he was 2 years ago. Jack Vanderslayer was impressive on the sled with the contact stuff today, while Deshaun Brame had plenty of twitch and space. As expected, the two will complement each other. Deshaun Brame's going to be your guy that comes out there, runs routes, gets open, maybe kind of chip blocks, and then goes out for the quarterback to have a little check down to. Van Dorselayer is going to be your physical guy, kind of box out, make the tough catch, boxing out the linebackers, and in there blocking. He's going to be in there doing the dirty work. The Son Brain's going to be the guy making the pretty plays, the sports center plays, you know. With Braza not getting reps today, there are more to go around for the other 6 scholarship receivers for Tennessee and walk-on Travis Wary, both Trey Smith and Ray Darius Jackson. Trey Smith played before. They're talking about Travis Smith, not Trey Smith, y'all. Trey Smith, daggone, just got the biggest contract in NFL history at guard. And if you know, you know, he had a hater that said he'd never be anything because he had blood clots and all that crap, which is pathetic. So they're talking about Travis Smith Jr., the freshman. Ray Darius Jackson, the freshman, showed well in routes on air while Miles Kitson dropped the pass. Speaking of Campbell, looks like $1 million transfer Colton Hood. Where was we speaking of Campbell at? Transfer Colton Hood does as well. He moves around well in pads. He was dropping at cornerback today while Jalen McMurray was repping the star in the absence of Boo Carter. Colton Hood transferred from Colorado. He's going to be a stud too, y'all. That's a huge gift for us, especially if Jamal McCoy has to miss any part of the season with his ACL recovery. David Hobbs has had a good offseason. He appears to have added some decent weight. He also moved down jersey number 5. Some of the freshman linebackers are working in a group together. Both Jaden Perlotti and Jalen Harmon look to be full speed. That's our 2 stud freshman linebackers we got coming in. If you notice, Edwin Spielman carried himself like a starter. If you haven't noticed, a lot of these guys, even the freshmen, y'all, are coming in looking like guys that are ready to play. Used to, we brought in freshmen. They needed, under Butch and Pruitt and them, they needed a year or 2 to get in the weight room and get ready to go. We're bringing in guys now that are ready to hit the road and daggone lay the smack down on some people. If you know, you know. That's the people's eyebrow. If y'all ain't WWF Attitude Era fans, we can't be friends. Lay the smack down on your candy ass. Back to what we're talking about. It looked as if Andre Turrentine and Idris Farouk were the first 2 safeties up in drills for Tennessee, which everybody figured kind of Caleb Beasley's in the mix, though, so it'd be definitely Turrentine on one side and then Farouk or Caleb Beasley on the other. They weren't in full pads this morning, so everything is taken with a grain of salt. But freshman DBs, Dylan Lewis, Sidney Walton, Trey Poteet, his dad played in the NFL. Tim Merritt and Ty Redmond all moved around well, high-pointing footballs and drills. Redshirt freshman Jake Merklinger is most first in line with the quarterbacks, passing drills, UCLA transfer was second, McIntyre third. We done went over that. These are different guys telling you, like Eric Kane was the one we just read. Redshirt freshman and a 5-star freshman, David Sanders, number 1 tackle in the 2025 class, is bulked up. His 6'6" frame from 270 pounds to 305 to start preseason practice. The man's put on 35 pounds, y'all. in 8 months, which is awesome. Because you can't play tackle in the SEC at 270. You just can't do it. Sanders was at right tackle. He done seen that. So that's basically all the notes from fall camp, y'all. I know it's another pretty long video, but I wanted to go over everything. Tomorrow, I think they have camp again, so we'll go over that. Y'all tell me what other teams you want me to pull up and go over. Tomorrow I'll be sitting back down. Got the baby in there laying down. I was trying to get away from her so I don't wake her up. Sorry about that, y'all. Hope y'all enjoyed the content. Do that YouTube stuff for me. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Share with your buddies, your enemies. I tell you this every video until you get tired of hearing it. But as always, go Vols, baby. Peace.